So I'm going to be honest with you. I have not been feeling a lot of joy lately. There's some stuff going on at work. There usually is. There's some stuff going on in my personal and family life. There usually is. There is some stuff going on in the world. There always is. That is not adding joy to my life. And that sometimes is taking joy out of my life. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am happy more often than I am not. I am content more often than I am not. But I haven't really been joyful lately. And I will admit that the lately in that sentence is doing a lot of work. There's this photo of me from when I'm a kid. I don't know if it exists anywhere anymore. It used to be at my parents' house, and we've downsized my dad, we've downsized my mom, things have disappeared, so I don't know if my mom still has it. I don't think that we have it at my house, but it's this photo of me when I am a little kid. Back when my hair was blonde and my face was clean shaven. I think I'm wearing a Cub Scout uniform. I will tell you that I was the worst scout, regardless of the kind of scouting, but in it I'm smiling, like a big, wide open smile. And Mariah has told me that she loves that photo because it proves that I was happy once. When I was a child, I feel like I was joyful. I feel like I liked to just run around and laugh for no reason and smile big and find entertainment in revolving doors and hop along sidewalks or along crosswalks. I feel like things were more joyful when I was little. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I laughed as a child. I played as a child. But at some point, I grew up. And that meant putting away childish things. And somehow, joy got mixed in with those things and put into storage. And I accepted that I would be happy more often than I am not, that I would be content more often than I am not, and that joy, exuberance, crazy bananas joy would be a thing that I would remember. And maybe catch a glimpse of every now and then, but it wouldn't just be part of who I am. I suspect that most of us have gone through something similar. When is the last time you saw a revolving door and thought, I'm going to use that thing? Our scripture today is from Zephaniah, a prophet, a contemporary of Jeremiah, and you kind of know the general vibe of Zephaniah if you know the general vibe of most of the prophets. He has a little short book. And in his little short book, he is mostly telling the people of Israel, hey, you messed up. And punishment is coming. God is going to correct you. Things are going to get bad. But on this Sunday of joy, we read the bit that comes after. When Zephaniah tells the people, after that, God will bring you home. God will be in your midst. There will be joy and exultation and wonderment. It is the good news after the bad news. There will, one day, be the joy that you remember. Our movie today is Elf. It's a holiday classic at this point, but just in case you don't remember, Elf is the story of Buddy, played by a manic pixie dream Will Ferrell, who is a human who was raised as an elf at the North Pole, where it is basically Christmas all the time. And he goes to New York, a city that is famous for its joylessness, to find his birth father, his biological father, his family, who he hasn't known. We saw the scene where he arrives in New York. Again, a city famous for its joylessness. A city famous for, I'm walking here. And he approaches it with all of his elfishness, with all of the joy of Christmas morning when you were a kid. And we saw what that leads to: hopping along crosswalks and dodging cabs, taking all the flyers from the people handing out flyers, using and abusing the revolving door, making poor choices about gum. But he approaches it with so much joy, with so much happiness. And then we saw the bit where he goes to the department store and is mistaken for an elf in their own North Pole, and is taken and is told that thing that we were all told at some point. When he says, "Smiling is my favorite. Make work your favorite." Work is your favorite now. Duty is your favorite. Responsibility is your favorite. Earning your keep is your favorite. Doing all of the stuff that we have decided you should do is your favorite. And if we take that as far as we can go, living under the powers of sin and death and everything that makes life less is your favorite. Make that your favorite. And we don't quite see it in the clip, but North Pole at the department store is underwhelming. It doesn't quite meet the expectations that Buddy, an elf, someone who knows Christmas, has for the North Pole and for Santa coming here. Where's the snow? Where are the snowflakes? Where is the greeting? Where is the pomp and circumstance? Where is the joy? So he spends all night hopped up on sugar, making that joy a reality even here, where work is people's favorite. And if you've seen the movie, you know that this is what happens again and again and again. Buddy keeps going places that are dark and despairing and sad, where the powers of sin and death and everything that makes life less rule, and bringing joy. So there is joy at his biological father's publishing company. There is joy in the mailroom at his biological father's publishing company. There is joy in his biological father's house. There is joy again and again where there wasn't joy before. There ends up being joy in Central Park on Christmas Eve. And joy all over New York on Christmas Eve. Joy. Joy is a little act of revolution. Every act of joy is a little act of revolution against the powers of sin and death and everything that makes life less. Those powers that tell us that work should be our favorite, that responsibility should be our favorite, that duty should be our favorite, that following them should be our favorite. All of those things that take our joy away. Joy is a little act of revolution. And it might not seem like a lot to laugh. It might not seem like a lot to smile. It might not seem like a lot to leap and jump and dance and just be exuberant in this world that God has created and given to us. But that little bit is enough to start the dominoes falling, to start the world changing, to start the world turning. Joy can change things. The hard part, of course, is when you haven't really felt joy in a while, you can't just wait for it to show up. As much as I wish that Will Ferrell would just come into our church and show us how to be joyful, as much as I wish Will Ferrell would just show up anywhere and show people how to be joyful because he is good at being joyful, that is probably not going to happen. I'm going to wait a beat just in case. But instead, we need to learn joy. We might need to relearn joy. We need to practice joy. We need to take joy and say, I'm going to work on this until I get it right. I'm going to laugh so that I understand what it is to laugh. I'm going to leap so I understand what it is to leap. I'm going to play so that I understand what it is to play. I'm going to dance so that I understand what it is to dance, a little bit every day, until that joy comes back, until it crawls out from those childish things I put away and becomes part of me again. I'm going to make joy my favorite until I am overflowing with joy, until joy is pouring out of me into the world, until joy starts getting on other folks and they too find joy. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to do that. Why we should all do that. Why each and every one of us should do that. Because we have something to be joyful about. I know that there are things going on that are joyless. I know that there are things going on that try to take our joy away. But what Zephaniah talked about happening in the future has happened to us in our past. The God who is love, has come into the world as one of us, among a dispossessed people in an occupied land, to parents who could not find a place to stay for the night. The God who is love has gone to the cross and to the tomb and stepped out into the garden alive and full of life and offering abundant life, handing it out through no merit of our own. The God who is love has overthrown the powers of sin and death and everything that makes life less, and they have no right to our joy. We have things to be joyful about. We are reborn. We are in new life. We have one foot in God's reign of love. We are watching the world turn as love fills it up, as God redeems it and restores it and repairs it, and not just it, but us. We have reasons to be joyful. We have reasons to laugh and to smile and to dance and to leap and to spin and to play and to just be joyful with each other and with God. And in so doing, to slowly fill the world with joy until it is full. To slowly fill the world with peace until it is full. To slowly fill the world with hope until it is full, and to slowly fill the world with love until it is full and overflowing. So we practice joy, a little bit at a time, until it fills us up, until we are joyful again, until all of those memories of the joys of childhood are again made real in God's reign of love.